Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got a can from the Anarchy Brew Company and it is called Boot Boys and it is a brown ale. I really like the artwork on this, and it's probably what swayed me to buy it. I'm a big fan of brown ale as well, so that's probably what's done it too. But the Anarchy Brew Company are based up in Newcastle upon Tyne. They do quite a wide They do quite a wide variety of beers. I've tried some of them, reviewed them on the channel. They've been good, and they also have like a sort of a punk ethic. They have some absolutely amazing artwork that they've got on their cans, which I really like. That's sort of up my street. And speaking of artwork, if you look at the can here, it's a rather large Dr. Martin boot. Or is that a Commando Soul boot? Yes, it is. There is a difference, trust me. And that is the Tyne Bridge. So, very topical. Boot Boys, don't know whether you know, but Boot Boys were the original sort of 1970s football hooligans. The name sort of applied to skinheads in the early 80s, or the late 70s and early 80s. And it's all sort of blurred into one now. You know, people call skinheads Boot Boys and etc, etc. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the history of youth cults, but just to let you know, the original Boot Boys were the like the original football hooligans as well from the early 70s. So when you see them long-haired, they almost look like they come out of circus with the flares and the boots. They were called Boot Boys. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the beer. Right, this is a 440ml can. It is a brown ale, which is a big thing up north, especially in Newcastle. Obviously they've got the Newcastle brown thing going up there, but brown ale was very popular up there. Obviously not now, because Newcastle brown isn't brewed in Newcastle. Anyone who's drinking it up there in Newcastle thinking that they are drinking a Newcastle legend, that they are not. I think it's brewed in Tadcaster by the people that brew John Smith's, and you know what a fucking horrible drink that is. What have we got? Yeah, 440ml can. It's got the brew sheet on here, which I will read out in a minute. Where is the ABV? I can't fucking find the ABV. Right, I can't find it on the can because I'm a twat. Oh, it's 5%. It's 5%. Calm down. It's got the brew sheet on here, which is really nice of brewers to do, because it makes my tastings a bit more easier. I know what to sort of expect anyway. In the malt department, you have got extra pale. That will be your base malt. You use that for the majority of your malt bill. You have got crystal, which is, you know, that is the malt that has been slightly dampened, put into the kiln. Shoots start coming through. The malt produces sugar to feed these shoots. Immediately the malt is taken out and it's left with that sugar on the top, and that gives it a nice sweetness to it. You've got chocolate malt, you've got Munich malt, you have got Carapils, and you have got Melanoidin, which I have no idea what is. That's a new one on me. I'll have to look that one up, see what all that's about. The hops are Magnum and Pale. Oh, sorry, Magnum and Pearl. And the yeast is California ale yeast, which is a very popular yeast over here. See, the Yanks are getting the hang of this brewing. Yeah, and of course the artwork I've already touched on, but I really do like the stuff that the Anarchy Brew Company do on their artwork. It's just really good, and it's my sort of thing. So let's stop gassing and let's get this can open. On the nose, out of the glass. Lovely, lovely, sweet caramel malt, and a little touch of toffee on there as well, which is what I would have expected from a brown ale. It's very much like the Dunkel I tried the other day. I tried the Iinga Altbayerisch Dunkel, which is basically a but a bottom fermented dark beer. And I suppose this is the sort of equivalent. It's a top fermented dark beer, but they smell quite similar with that caramel malt, lovely and sweet. And that's probably coming from the not the carapils, the caramel, or the caramel, not the caramel malt. What am I talking about? That's probably coming from the crystal malt. Right, let's get it on the nose. There's not much hop coming out of that. Let's get it into the glass. Now, your average Geordie would not be drinking it out of a glass like this. It would probably be a half pint glass or a 440ml pint glass, or a third of a pint glass. But there it is in there. There is a massive head on there. I'm not sure whether that's ultra lively or whether it's me being an arse that can't pour beer into a glass. The colour is a nice ruby colour. Looks very nice indeed, quite dark on the nose. Oh, it smells lovely. I'm getting the chocolate now, that's coming through there as well. So it's chocolate and caramel malt. It smells super, super drinkable. And do you know what? I'm thinking that I've had this before. I was in a craft beer pub in Clerkenwell called the Craft Beer Club. And I'm sure, I don't remember it being called Boot Boys. I thought it was called something else, but I remember drinking it, Anarchy Brew Company brown ale, and it was lovely. So, let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. God. That is really nice. That has got huge caramel and chocolate coming from there. It's almost like it's been flavoured with chocolate. Now I'm hoping it hasn't, but that is really nice. It's quite sweet. There's a little touch of hop bitterness on there, but this is all about the malt. It's almost like a stout, which is quite confusing, being a brown ale. And I'll tell you now, it tastes nothing like that crap called Newcastle Brown. I've refused to review that because it's just going to be a rant at how disgusting it is. I mean, I was never a massive fan of it anyway. I have drank it quite a few times when there's been absolutely nothing else. And I've always woken up with the headache from hell. And it just doesn't do anything for me. This, on the other hand, is absolutely amazing. It's not like the nut brown ale. The chocolate is huge in this. With the nut brown ale, that was all about the caramel, and the yeah, there was a little touch of toffee on there as well. But this is all about caramel and big chocolate. It's really nice. It's super drinkable. The mouthfeel is amazing, but you can see that. Look at the lacing on that glass. It's lovely. This is really rich. It's got a big body to it as well. But the chocolate is huge, and it's like dark chocolate, and I'm a massive fan of dark chocolate. This is sweet, but there is a bitterness to it as well. You know, it's not super sweet. There is a malty sweetness to it, but as I say, chocolate just dominates at the end. But it's nice, and I like it. It's not cheap though. I think this was about £4, something like that. But I just like the can. Being an ex-skinhead that I am, I thought I would get this. And I'm glad I did, because this is really nice. Now, whether this is a traditional Newcastle brown ale, well, I suppose they've only got their Newcastle brown ale to go on, but this is nice. I don't care where it's come from, who brews it, it's nice. So what's the verdict? Yeah, really good. If you're a fan of big chocolate malt, slightly sweet ale, dark ale, you're going to love this. It hasn't quite got the hop bitterness that you would get from English hops, so it's probably not a traditional northern brown ale, but on its on its own merits, it's really nice. The malts on this just dominate. It's very, very malty, and I like quite malty beers. You know, I like me dark European lagers, and I like this sort of thing as well. What would I give this? I really like it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 because that is really nice. The mouthfeel is great. The flavours are big, and it just does everything right for me. The price could be slightly off-putting for some people. Yeah, it's a 440ml can, but I think this is over £4 a can. I cannot remember what the exact price it was. I got it from Beers of Europe. But yeah, it's really good, and I like the can. I'm going to keep that can, and yeah, really good. 8 out of 10, recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.